Hello. Unboxing time. Just arrived. All the way from Gravel Records in Prahran, or whatever it is, in Melbourne. Oh goody, it's got stickers all over it. I love shit like that. This is something I talked about in a recent video, but I deleted it because I was waffling and didn't have anything to show. But well, this is an old friend. This is PICKLE mini album or maxi EP by Smelly Tongues. They've written on here 1989 Australian something, can't read it, LP, mini LP, yeah, MLP, within a sleeve, record mint minus, cover excellent, plus stickers on back. I don't mind that because it's sort of almost like a date stamp on a stamp, you know. It makes it more collectible sometimes. So it gives you an idea if it's an original also. Nice pink on the back there. Bit washed out. But yeah, I have history with this one because this is one that now on there, up there it's got $40, but no, I got it for 30. I've been looking at this for years. It's been up on their shop page, Gravel Records, for years, and I keep looking at it and going, oh, I'm not going to pay $30 for that. What for? It's not even particularly good. It's all right, but there's all the stickers on the back. Reduced to 1995, and it's got a date of 5/91. So that's why I like these things. There's no way this would be reissued anyway, but it's things like that. 5/91, so that's May 91, 1995. That's how much it would have cost. That'd be the original sticker. And there's one up here in the corner called Fire Engine. I don't know what that is. And then there's a 50. I don't know what that is either. So stickers galore. Doesn't worry me. So the deal with this is that I used to work for Patrick Jones Studios and for a few years, and the main clients there were TV stars, mainly Australian, pop stars, mainly from Sydney. These are all mainly from Sydney. You know, TV stars, pop stars, rock stars, you name it. They pretty much all of them used to go to this place. And even Michael Jackson went there to get publicity shots for his tour sometime in the late 80s or early 90s, I forget, late 80s. So I got a lot of famous people coming and going there. And this was one that was brought in by whoever does the art for these things. I can't. Hang on, open it up. It might tell you. I think Tony Mott, who was a well-known photographer, you know, used to go around taking shots of all the bands, you know, when they were live on stage and that, and sort of like the guy that used to do the Sub Pop stuff. So this is an inner. This is the inner. It's called PICKLE. So the thing is, I printed these from the negatives. It's the band. I looked them up on YouTube. There's virtually nothing about this band on YouTube, but there was a live clip from in Sydney, Matraville or somewhere. I don't know, Matraville, somewhere in the inner west, from 2024, I think, of them doing a live set, and they sort of look like these guys, but just older and balder and fatter. So that's the inner. This is the wonderful Waterfront label, which I love. That was my favourite record shop in Sydney in the 80s. Yeah, she's mint. Definitely. Just make sure there's no warps. No warps, no spindle mark wear at all. So, Bed of Roses. Now, I remember that one. Whoops. Side 2, Bed of Roses, Bloodsport. Side 1, 5-minute drive to So Very Fetching and Your Mistakes. Damp 90. That was their serial number, or whatever you call it. Yeah, interesting. Um, beautiful condition. Wow. It's been up on their site for years. I look at it every couple of years and go, it's still there. And I could have got it cheaper from Discogs, but I've never used Discogs and I don't trust them. So what happens here is, the story with this is, they're probably what you would call a second tier band from the late 80s. You know, bands like King Snake Roost from South Australia, they were great. They were actually appeared on Amphetamine Reptile compilation. Is it Sex, Drugs and Fucking in the Street? Was it that one or another one? I forget. But I saw them live with, they were on before Mudhoney and the Hard-Ons, King Snake Roost, and they almost stole the show. They were bloody good. But I never saw this one band live. Okay, the name comes from the Residents. I think it's their first Residents album, or no, the second one, Meet the Residents. Song called Smelly Tongues. And then Snakefinger, Phil Withman, the guitar player with the Residents. I've got the single here. I can't find it. It's here, but it's somewhere. Did a cover version of Smelly Tongues and made a bit of a hit of it. Well, actually, The Spot. It was The Spot with Smelly Tongues as the B-side. It was a bit of a hit, indie hit here in Sydney anyway. So what we have here is, okay, come on, get on with it. See that picture there? Now, what happened was I was provided with I was a darkroom printer for 30 years plus. I was provided with two negatives. One was like a two and a quarter square. The other was a 35mm. I'm pretty sure the shot of the guys was a 35mm, and the pickle jar was, done a bit more professionally, as you would say. Neither of these these aren't professional shots. I'm pretty sure Tony Mott took them, and he's not a great photographer, you know. I never saw him in any dark rooms anywhere in all my years. But the thing is, this took me somewhere between half a day to a full day to get this result. They wanted their heads to appear to be in a jar of pickles or something. It's a stupid idea. I actually like it now. At the time, I thought it was silly because I used to have an album by Spike Milligan, which came out back in the early 60s, and he had his head in a pickle jar. Same thing. But this actually looks better. It's very washed out here. Sorry about the light, but it's a bit better than that in reality. The colours are darker green than what's coming up here. Yeah, but this took ages to get a result for this. My God, it took forever. You know, it was all photomechanical. There was no computers, no nothing. It was all done with an enlarger and black and white negatives, and you had to do it. You know, you had to map it out and mark it, and then work out the exposure for this, the boys, and then work out an exposure for the actual jar, and then you had to write it down. You had to be so effing precise with this shit, and it probably took me almost a full day to get this result. You know, you'd try some and they wouldn't work because his head or something kept going. The black bit would go through the front of his head. You know what I mean? So just aesthetically, it looked awful, and I just had to keep doing them and manipulating the negative, just moving it slightly. Like the jar was easy. That's just stays in one spot, but I had to move the boys around and do one. You know, and sometimes you get that through the middle of his head or something. You go, not quite, didn't look quite right. So I just kept at it and kept at it, and I thought that this was the best result with these lines going through. You know, it's balanced, it works all right. And there it is, pickle down the bottom there. JC drums, JE guitar in the middle, and BG bass. So there's your bass player, there's your guitar. That's the singer too, I believe, and that's your drums. So there you have it. Yeah, local Sydney boys. Sort of how to describe it. Not heavy like, sort of in that tad mud honey. I just say them as examples. They're not in the same league, but sort of in that sort of field. It's not. I do remember Better Roses. That was pretty good. Mixed and recorded and mixed by Dave Boyne at Sound Barrier, August September 1988. Arranged by Smelly Tongues. Cover design and program notes by John. Pickle photos by Janine Stephan. Group photos by Tony Mott. Well, there you go. So Tony Mott and Janine Stephan. So layout by Peter Simpson. So that would have been the guy that came in. Mastered by Steve Smart. Big smelly kisses to Steve, Chris and Frank. Bernard Zuel for lyrics. Well, see, Bernard Zuel was a very well-known music critic at the time, for a long time. Andrew Gillies, blah, 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 blah. Sphincter Love Muscle and Big Chief Sitting Tonk. You get the picture. It's the sort of thing Ben Rankers would like, sort of childish, words like fuck, cunt, shit and piss and things like that on the cover. Messages of love and hate can be sent to us at Waterfront, Sydney South. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. They moved twice after that. Forget the Susan, remember the Coop. Anyway, so layout by Peter Simpson. So that was the guy that they might have tried to have done it, themselves, and they just couldn't get a result. So they brought in Patrick Jones because we didn't normally do this sort of thing. It was beneath us, but I got lumbered with it. And it was a challenge. I thought, no, I'll go for this. It's for Waterfront Records, so I'm going to do it. And this Steve Simpson had to be him. He came in and collected the print, which ended up being the same size as the artwork, and he just looked at it and said, "You're a technical genius." So how's that? Anyway, I'm a happy chappy.